Hey guys, welcome to a new video here on this channel. I know I haven't done anything for I think like 2 years or something, but I really didn't feel like I wanted to share more of my story, anything. I wasn't ready to share more of it, but now, like recently, I feel like I want to share more of it and I feel more courageous to share more of it. So here we go. Let's see how this goes. I don't know. Today I want to talk about something very, very personal and something I haven't been really talking about for quite some time. I actually not really been talking about to anyone so far, except for my family who did experience it back then. And that's the story of how I wanted to make a transition from female to male when I was 14 or 15 years old, and why I didn't. Because I think that's a topic that's very present right now, and I'm actually happy that a lot more people are talking openly about this, and maybe my experience or the decisions I made or whatever I thought back then can help you. So how everything started for me was actually that I've never been the stereotypical girl or woman. I'm still not today. If you know me for a bit longer, you might know that I'm not that stereotypical woman, but I was also not that stereotypical girl. So I was not wearing makeup or wearing dresses or was playing with Barbie dolls or whatever. I was playing soccer, I was riding skateboards. You can see it in the back, I still do today. I was always more interested in boys stuff because I thought it was just a lot more interesting and a lot more exciting. And for a long time, I never felt like that this was a problem because I was supported by my family, or felt supported by my family when I was a kid. My grandpa, for example, he played soccer with me. My dad did as well. And I was just happy and I never felt like there was a problem. Until one day, I can remember when I think it was 9 years old or maybe 10. And my grandpa just bought me a soccer jersey from my favorite team back then. And I was so happy about that. I was really smiling and I was like going to my mom like, hey, look at that. Grandpa just bought me this. This is so cool. And my mom was really pissed. And my parents and my grandparents, they live in the same house together. And I can remember that my mom instantly rushed upstairs and to my grandpa and started yelling at him. And I was downstairs in the kitchen. I was like, what did I do wrong? What just happened? I don't know if I heard the full conversation, but there was just one sentence that stuck with me, was that my mom was yelling at my grandpa saying, no matter how many soccer jerseys you buy her, she will always be a girl. She will never be a boy. She will always be my girl. And it confused me somehow that she said, or that my mom had connected playing soccer or wearing soccer jerseys with being a boy. Because I didn't want it to be a boy. And my grandpa didn't want me to be a boy. He just catered to my interests and to the hobbies I had, which was playing soccer and watching soccer games. I never felt like this was something I was not allowed to do as a girl or anything. And this just stuck with me because at this point, or after this point, I started realizing that other people around me, my classmates as well, especially the female classmates, they were treating me in a way they didn't treat the other girls. And I started noticing that they were whispering things like, she doesn't look like a girl and she's not behaving like a girl and you don't do this and that things when you are a girl. It got to me and I started thinking, okay, maybe if everyone's saying that I don't look like a girl or I'm not behaving like a girl or I shouldn't play soccer when I'm a girl because that's not what girls doing. Maybe I'm not a girl. So I was starting to be confused with my own body even before I hit puberty. Because I mean, being confused with your body is something that you are in puberty, but it was before that already. And then the thought grew more and more. Maybe I'm a boy, and maybe I have to be a boy to be accepted with the interests I have and with the hobbies I have and just basically with how I am. And that's when I slowly started to change. I started to wear boys' clothing. I got my hair cut short. I mean, it's not exactly long right now, but it was really, really, really short. I'm gonna show you some pictures along with this video, of course, so you have a better understanding of what I'm talking about. I even went as far as giving myself a male name and told my friends to call me by that name. And I think I was actually lucky to have friends that just accepted it. And they were just like, okay, if you want us to call you by that name, we will do that. That's all right. That's okay for us. I never told my parents though, of course. And I think in my family, no one ever knew that I did that. And initially, I felt a little bit better with this because I felt like, okay, now I will finally be accepted. And I gotta be honest that I never had any problems being accepted by boys. The boys that were around me, they always accepted me. No matter if I looked like a boy or like a girl, I was just their friend playing soccer with them or skateboarding with them. They never had any problems. They never said like, oh, go away, you're a girl or whatever. Maybe I was lucky with my friends as well, I don't know. Going back to when I got into this boys role, initially it made me feel good. But then other problems occurred over time that, for example, girls didn't want me to go to the girls' restroom anymore because I looked like a boy. And they said, well, if you look like a boy, you can go to the boys' restroom. But I was a girl, so I didn't belong to the boys' restroom. So just with a change of appearance, other problems occurred that I hadn't had on my list before. It didn't exactly lead me to being more accepted. And that's when this thought came to my mind. And I mean, the internet was a thing back then already, so I could Google if this was medically possible, whatever, to change your gender, to have a surgery done. And I came to a few articles and websites that did indeed tell me that this is possible. And I think at this point I was 14. That was something that I really considered back then, and I thought, oh my god, it's so cool that this is existing, and I will definitely do this because this will be the last step of being finally accepted. Then when I'm a real boy, you know? It was just a simple thought, and it was just something that I thought would be as simple as I thought it is. So it's a lot of thinking right there. And then I can remember that I presented this plan to my mom when we were on vacation. And we were in a bit of an argument already over my appearance and my look and my clothing and everything. And I can just remember that I said to her, I will do a transition anyhow. So no matter how much you want me to be a girl, there will be a point where I'm not a girl anymore. Because I want to do this transition, I want to be a boy. And she was so upset, and she was just yelling at me. She said, no, you will never be a boy, you will always be a girl, and I will not allow you to do anything of that. I was pissed. Of course I was. Because I had this plan in my mind, and I was hoping for my parents to support me in this, and they didn't. So I was really, really upset, but I knew that when I would turn 18, I can do whatever I want. So I thought, okay, if I can not do it right now because she doesn't want me to do it, I will do it when I am 18. I will definitely do that. And there was no social media back then. Or maybe there was, and I just didn't know about it, but I can't remember that there was social media back then. There was in 2000, 2001, so there was internet, so I can just look a few things up, but there was no social media like it is today with Twitter and Instagram and TikTok and whatnot. There was no one around me actually to influence me on this. Also no one to support me on this as well, but also no one to influence me on this. So I couldn't just go to TikTok and look at other people and how they cope with this and how they deal with this. It was something I had to come to terms with myself and only myself, and there was absolutely no one around it. And looking back now, I'm happy that my mom did not support it and did not allow it, because now that I'm 38 and looking back when I was 14, I was just completely confused. And I was not able to really decide this for myself. I don't want to say that there aren't 14-year-olds out there who can, but I was definitely not able to do this. And I was not old enough, and I was not wise enough to decide this. So I'm happy that, well, at least now, I'm happy that my mom blocked this and did not allow this to happen, because they gave me a few more years of development and of growing and of developing other thoughts and making experiences, or just getting more experienced in life. And that changed a lot for me, actually, because what happened throughout these years was I went on a bit like this, like, you know, being a boy, actually, not only tomboy, but being actually a boy. And I think it was after reading an article about someone who made the transition, and there was one thing that stuck with me, because that woman always said that she felt so uncomfortable in her body and that she hated her body, and every time she looked at herself in the mirror, she just found herself disgusting and ugly and everything. And then I compared this to myself, and I was like, no, that's not how I'm feeling. I just feel like I'm not accepted the way I am, and with the interests I have and the hobbies I have. And I feel like I will never be able to fit into this stereotypical female picture that maybe society has and maybe my mom has as well. But I do not feel uncomfortable in my body. I did not feel uncomfortable when puberty hit and my upper part of the body started to grow, or when I started getting my period. There was not like a shock for me. It didn't make me feel uncomfortable, and it wasn't something that I hated. It was just something that I knew would happen at some point, and I accepted it, and I was like, okay, that's part of my body because I'm a woman, so that's how it works out, you know? That's how my body changes. And that made me realize that I don't need to change my gender to be who I want to be. And that was really a very valuable and important part for me, an important thought for me. And I just changed to being who I am and being who I want to be and how I want to be, and with all the looks and the interests that I want to have. May it be skateboarding or soccer or gaming or studying automotive engineering, what I did. And I still felt like I can do all of this but still be a woman, biologically, and from my gender. But yeah, this is just why I wanted to share this story, because maybe there is someone out there who's having the same struggles and who's in a similar situation that I was back then, and is wondering if this may even be the right decision for them or not. So that's just, maybe the story helps you, maybe it doesn't. This is something you have to decide for yourselves. I just wanted to share my experience, and like I said at the beginning of the video, if it just helps one single person to clear their mind, because that's what it's all about. You just have to clear your mind as much as possible and make the right decisions for yourself, no matter what this will be. And at the end of the day, just be yourself, no matter what everyone else is saying. So that's what I can tell you from my experience of being a lot older than what I was back then. I know it's a bit sensitive topic, but I hope you enjoyed this video and you found it interesting. And if you want to hear more of this, and I hope I can keep this going a bit longer this time. If you want to hear more of this, be sure to like and subscribe, and put a comment below what you would like to write. So yeah. Alright guys, gonna see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.